Thank you for joining ICANN TV Newscast. Emerson Saffa reporting from Studio One in New York. And now our top stories. Sierra Rota Limited expect to meet expectation in 2015. Political Parties Registration Commission to change approach towards political parties. Port Loko remains an epicenter of Ebola transmission and deaths. Network Movement for Justice and Development supplies food to Ebola-affected homes. Rokel Bank on the hot seat. Anti-corruption vows to pursue individual organizations or agencies involved in illegal use Ebola fund. Network Movement for Justice and Development supplies food to Ebola-affected homes. Rokel Bank on the hot seat. Anti-corruption vows to pursue individual organizations or agencies involved in illegal using Ebola funds. And now our news in detail. Chief Executive Officer of Sierra Rota Limited, Mr. John Cisse, said they are very pleased to record the highest quarter of rutile production for the year ended 2014 and one of their highest quarters of production ever. He said they are proud to have achieved this result while in the midst of the ongoing Ebola epidemic. He also stated they continue to focus on cost control and they are pleased to have retained control of their costs when certain products and services in Sierra Leone are experiencing Ebola-linked inflation. He further stated that sales remain unaffected and the general supply chain has been the only material impact to operation has been the slow provision of irregular parts and materials. The CEO, Mr. Cisse, stated that Sierra Rota continues to work closely with the government of Sierra Leone in its border effort to combat Ebola and during the last quarter in 2014, and together with its shareholders made a further donation of 1 billion leones to the government of Sierra Leone's Ebola Orphan Fund. Chairman of the Political Parties Registration Commission, Honorable Justice M.E. Thompson, has cautioned political parties that 2015 is a year that they will change their approach in regulating and supervising political parties. This year, he says, the Commission will ensure that political parties adhere to the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone, the Political Party Act of 2002, and their party constitutions. Our reporter in Freetown has this to say.
The chairman of the Political Parties Registration Commission, PPRC, Justice Tola Thompson, has called on political parties to be more proactive after elections. The PPRC chairman, who was addressing representatives of political parties at the Commission's Freetown office, said parties should also focus on disseminating information on political ideas and social and economic programs of a national character. Justice Tola Thompson frowned at the habit of parties changing their officials without adherence to their constitutions just after months they had been elected. He said the PPRC will be carrying out unannounced visits to offices of political parties and warned of legal action against those parties flouting procedures laid down by the PPRC.
Partners in Health co-founder Dr. Paul Farmer says Port Loko remains an epicenter of Ebola transmission and deaths. He said getting to zero new infection is the overarching goal of what is now world's largest public health undertaking. Dr. Farmer said Clinicians and other staff in the hot zone can barely stand more than a couple of hours inside the centers, their protective gear slushing with sweat, rubber boots brimming with a foul mix of perspiration and chlorine. He said, treating patients in Put Locker, parents from this area knows how difficult it is to get a sick toddler to vomiting kids, he said, can't keep it down even when it's made to taste like fruit drinks. We'll be right back after the short break.
What happens when your electricity power is impromptu cut off? Are you suffering from continuous breakdown of your generator? Fuel crisis just drive you crazy. And the noise is so frustrating. Going solar is the solution. B-Box is now in town to solve these problems. B-Box is an internationally known solar company that exists in many countries in Europe, Asia, and Africa. B-Box provide high standard of solar installations and make solar affordable by paying in installments. B-Box has a team of trained technicians to offer long-term maintenance. B-Box offers a range of solar kits to serve your needs from a one-bedroom accommodation to a normal family home. With B-Box, you are assured of reliable electricity, no noise and ease of use, and you never have to spend cash on fuel again. Contact us at 34 Wellington Street, Freetown, or call us on +232 76 101 015 or +232 77 000 829. Join the solar revolution.
Network Movement for Justice and Development supplies food to Ebola-affected homes in 4 chiefdoms in the Conteh district. Our reporter on the phone line has this to say.
Network Movement for Justice and Development NMJD has supplied food and non-food items to homes quarantined due to Ebola in 4 chiefdoms in the Conteh district. 30 quarantined homes in the chiefdom of Tankoro, Nimikoro, Bensi, and Nimiyama were targeted, and in all, 280 people benefited from the supplies, including 28 Ebola survivors.
Local banks find themselves in the hot seat of irregularities. Our reporter Zainab has this to say.
One of the country's local banks, located at the center of claims of irregularities, is on the verge of being administered by a 3-man caretaker team which will manage the bank for a period of 1 year. An influential local newspaper, Global Times, on Wednesday, 21st January, carried a front-page story quoting a finance minister source confirming the appointment of Mr. John D. Okafor-Smart as caretaker, managing director of Conteh Commercial Bank. He is to be assisted by Mr. Emerson Conteh, who was an executive director of First International Bank, and Mr. Charles Cisse, a financial analyst at the National Commission for Privatization. Mr. John Okafor-Smart had served before as manager at Union Trust Bank. The governor of Sierra Leone's central bank, Mamadou Kagbo, dissolved Conteh Commercial Bank's board of directors in December last year.
And for the rest of our stories inside Freetown, let's go to our phone line where Alpha Abu and Zainab Kamara reporting to us. Over to you, Alpha and Zainab.
From Freetown, Sierra Leone, welcome to ICANN TV News. I am Alfred from this side of the Atlantic. Bauxite mining company Sierra Mineral Holdings Limited, also called Vimetco, in conformity with the country's 2009 Minerals Act, says it has paid a total of 671,454,000 leones as surface rent to landowners and honoring of its corporate social responsibility for the year 2015. For a breakdown of the payments, the paramount chiefs received 100,719,000 leones, the Chiefdom Development Fund 67,145,000 leones, District Council Development Fund 100,719,000 leones, and Constituency Development Fund 67,146,000 leones. The landowners also received 335,725,000 leones. Two foreign workers with Sokfin Agricultural Company have narrowly escaped death after being attacked by unknown assailants a few miles from the town of San Malen, Pujon District, southern Sierra Leone. A release from the company's public relations officer says the oil palm plantation manager Gordon Patterson and a zonal manager Tangai Dennis were in a pickup truck heading for their quarters, having witnessed the putting out of a fire, a suspected case of arson on parts of the plantation, when their vehicle was first pelted with stones to be followed immediately by gunfire. The bullets shattered the back glass windscreen, but both men were unhurt. A number of people were being questioned by police, who are said to be looking out for the unknown gunman. Sokfin Agricultural Company has faced intermittent opposition from some of the local people in its area of operation over allegations of land grabbing and unfair treatment of the people by the company. The president of Sierra Leone, Ernest Bai Koroma, says the state of emergency announced in the wake of the Ebola epidemic will remain in place until the disease is completely eradicated in the country. The president was speaking at a meeting with key stakeholders in Conteh to address the Ebola issue. He said Conteh, Potloko, and the western area remain key problematic areas for the Ebola virus, and expressed dismay at the continued observance of traditional practices by some people, which he totally condemned. This is ICANN TV News coming to you from Freetown, Sierra Leone. A radio station in the Shabro Island, Bonth district called Bontico has been provided with various equipment to enhance the quality and coverage of its broadcast. The donated items were provided by the Independent Radio Network IRN with support from the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO. IRN National Coordinator Ransford Wright said Bontico was on the verge of collapse and that the new equipment will rejuvenate the station once more. As a result of the new support, the station's transmitter power has now been increased from 100 to 700 MHz. Some of the gadgets donated to Radio Bontico were digital recorders, laptop computers, mixer, antenna, and microphones. And in sports, the body governing world football, FIFA, has warned the football authorities in Sierra Leone that the country could face a ban from all competitions should the interim body of the Sierra Leone Football Association, SLFA, headed by Alhaji Yunisa Alim Sisi Awoko, continues to recognize the outcome of the December 20th, 2014 Congress. FIFA's threat was contained in a letter sent to the National Sports Council, chaired by Sports Minister Paul Kamara, which supports the interim body.
And now to end our news, here are the top stories again. Sierra Ruta Limited expect to meet expectation in 2015. Political Party Registration Commission to change approach towards political parties. Port Loko remains an epicenter of Ebola transmission and deaths. Network Movement for Justice and Development supply food to Ebola-affected homes. Rokel Bank on the hot seat. Anti-corruption vows to pursue individual organizations or agencies involved in illegal using Ebola funds. And that ends our ICANN TV news for today. But before we go, on behalf of ICANN TV staff and management and all Sierra Leoneans, we want to pay tribute to a renowned Nollywood actor, Muna Obikwe, who passed away on Sunday, January 18th to kidney disease. He was well known in movies like Samantha, Over the Limit, Marriage Slaves, Handsome Devil, and many more. May his soul rest in peace. Massah Saffa, ICANN TV News.
Oh, you got a bad woman! Why did you do this to me?
Hey, look at your breast. Always admired you.
You are going to be sacrificed to the gods.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Batima. So this was all a plan. The value of a tree is not known until the branches are cut down. Then you will know its value.
When you see them coming, grab and kill the one that is beautifully dressed. Don't forget I'm the head wife in this house. Don't forget.
So help with your head wife. Keep your position in your best. That is for you and your husband.
Oh!